Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. I'm your anchor today. We have a breaking news recap for you tonight, focusing on the escalating tensions in the Middle East. The ongoing conflict with Iran has taken a concerning turn, with China's surprise move to stockpile oil before the war, diplomatic efforts stalled, and U.S. military action in the Strait of Hormuz. We'll dive into the latest developments, including the identities of Iran's new generals, the interception of Iranian oil tankers, and more. Let's get started with our top stories tonight. A disturbing picture has emerged from China's secret stockpiling efforts prior to the outbreak of tensions with Iran, sparking global concerns over energy security. China's massive oil stockpile has been revealed by U.S. government data, with the country holding more oil in reserve than any other nation. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, China's strategic stockpile surged last year, now standing at over 900 million barrels of crude oil. The significance of this development lies in its potential impact on global energy markets, particularly given the current tensions in the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial shipping lane that connects Europe and Asia to the Middle East. The region has been partially closed off due to ongoing conflicts, leading to concerns about supply disruptions and rising oil prices. China's stockpile is a key factor in its emerging advantage in the energy sphere. With over 70% ownership of China National Petroleum Corporation, CNPC, the country's largest oil company, Beijing has strengthened its influence over global energy markets. This strategic position allows China to maintain stability in its own energy supply and potentially capitalize on disruptions faced by other nations. The implications for China are multifaceted. By securing a reliable energy source, Beijing can reduce its dependence on imported oil, mitigate the impact of price volatility, and enhance its economic competitiveness. Additionally, China's control over CNPC enables it to exert pressure on international markets and negotiate favorable terms with global suppliers. Following a series of escalating tensions in the region, diplomatic efforts have hit a roadblock as Iran's latest move sparks global concern. Tensions in the Middle East have escalated after Iran fired on 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway that separates Iran from Oman and Iraq. The incident occurred on Tuesday, with U.S. naval vessels responding to the attack. According to reports, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, launched missiles at the ships, which were operated by the U.S., UK, and Saudi Arabia. The incident has sparked international concern, as it highlights ongoing tensions between Iran and Western powers over security in the region. The Strait of Hormuz is a crucial shipping lane for oil exports from the Middle East, and any disruption could have significant economic implications. U.S. officials have warned that Iran's actions are a threat to global stability, while Iranian leaders have denied involvement in the attack. The incident has also reignited concerns over the ongoing U.S. naval presence in the region, with critics arguing that it is fueling tensions and escalating the risk of conflict. The situation remains volatile, with diplomatic efforts underway to de-escalate the crisis. However, the incident marks a worrying escalation in tensions between Iran and Western powers, highlighting the need for restraint and dialogue to prevent further miscalculations. The Strait of Hormuz has been a flashpoint for regional conflicts in recent years, and this latest incident serves as a stark reminder of the risks of military action in the region. As we continue our coverage of global geopolitics, we now turn to a developing story in the Middle East that has significant implications for regional stability. The assassination of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on a Friday afternoon has sent shockwaves across the globe. The event, which occurred in Tehran, marked a significant turning point for the country and its relations with the world. As news of Khamenei's death spread, Iran's hardline revolutionary guards took control of key government institutions, including the parliament and the judiciary. The guards, who have long been seen as the dominant military force in the country, are now poised to wield significant power in Iran's governance. According to sources close to the matter, Khamenei was shot by a member of the Iranian intelligence agency while attending a meeting at his residence. The identity of the killer has not been officially confirmed, but it is believed that they were affiliated with Israel or another foreign power. The sudden shift in leadership has raised concerns about the future of Iran's nuclear program and its relations with Western countries. Khamenei was a key figure in maintaining diplomatic ties with Europe and was seen as a moderating influence on more hardline elements within the Iranian government. With Khamenei no longer at the helm, it is unclear what will happen next in terms of Iran's foreign policy and nuclear program. The country's allies are already bracing for the worst, while its enemies see this as an opportunity to further isolate and destabilize the region. As the situation continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the future of Iran has never been more uncertain. Following a recent escalation in tensions, the U.S. has intercepted several Iranian oil supertankers, amidst ongoing efforts to keep the strategic Strait of Hormuz shut. The U.S. military has intercepted 2 Iranian oil supertankers that attempted to bypass its blockade in the Persian Gulf. The vessels, which were carrying Iranian crude oil, were spotted by U.S. Navy ships in the Strait of Hormuz on Monday. According to sources, the tankers had been trying to evade the U.S. naval presence by taking a longer route through the Indian Ocean and into the Suez Canal. However, their plan was foiled when they were intercepted by U.S. warships. The operation was part of a broader effort by the U.S. to restrict Iranian oil exports, which have been a major source of revenue for the Islamic Republic. The U.S. has imposed sanctions on Iranian oil exports in an attempt to pressure Tehran into scaling back its nuclear program and other activities deemed threatening by Washington. Iranian officials have warned that they will retaliate against any vessel attempting to disrupt their shipping lanes. In response to the recent intercepts, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) commander, Rear Admiral Alireza Rahimian, stated that Tehran would take firm action if it felt its vessels were being threatened. The incident highlights the ongoing tensions between the U.S. and Iran in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway for global oil supplies. The region has seen several incidents involving Iranian vessels and U.S. warships since January 2020, when U.S. troops withdrew from Iraq following the assassination of top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. The U.S. blockade has been in place since January, and its impact is being closely watched by global energy markets and policymakers alike. As we start the day, let's take a look at the top stories that have made headlines overnight, with updates on global events and more. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict continues to escalate, despite a fragile truce that went into effect last Thursday. According to reports from Tel Aviv, Washington has informed the city that the ceasefire with Iran will expire on Sunday, leaving many wondering what this means for regional stability. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, Israeli soldiers are reportedly looting homes and businesses in southern Lebanon, despite the truce. Haaretz reported that sources stationed in the country have given testimonies of these incidents, which has raised concerns about the effectiveness of the ceasefire. In a related development, the Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ, has condemned Israel for its attack on Lebanese journalists Amal Khalil and Zainab Faraj. The Israeli airstrike killed Khalil and wounded Faraj, highlighting the risks faced by journalists in conflict zones. U.S. forces have also been enforcing a blockade against Iran, directing 31 vessels to turn around or return to port as part of Washington's efforts to restrict Iranian trade. The U.S. military said this was necessary to prevent ships from entering or leaving Iranian ports. The situation on the ground remains volatile, with at least 5 people, including 3 children, killed in an overnight Israeli airstrike targeting a group of citizens near Al-Qassam Mosque in Beit Lahia, north of the Gaza Strip. This incident has sparked widespread outrage and calls for action to protect civilians in conflict zones. These developments raise important questions about the role of external powers in regional conflicts and the need for protection for journalists and civilians caught in the crossfire. As tensions continue to escalate, it remains to be seen how the situation will unfold in the coming days. That's all for today's news recap. I'm your name. Thank you for watching. To stay up to date on the latest global news, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We'll keep you informed as events unfold. Until next time, good night, and we look forward to serving you with more breaking news and in-depth analysis.